Hi guys, Dread Dan here. Go ahead and get started. These are the guys I did the unboxing for a couple of videos back. The Griffin Bitch 28mm Vikings for Saga, plus one more pack of 4 Hearthguard. So there's 25 in the starter set, then 4 more, so there's 29 total figures here. First thing I did is put them in it's actually a salsa bowl, and you can either use dishwashing liquid and hot water and wash them off real good and let them dry on a paper towel. In this case, I let them soak for a couple hours in a 1-to-1 mix of water and purple powder, which is a degreaser. Just get the release agent off and give a good surface for the primer to eventually adhere to. Then I got my 1-inch zinc fender washers here to use for bases, and stuck the adhesive magnetic sheet to the underside and sanded it smooth around the edges. There's what they look like all done. You see I also have 1.5-inch fender washer for the Warlord and the magnetic underside. I magnetize the underside of my bases because I use cake pans for storage. Here you see the guys ready to be glued on, and there they are glued on. Now the next step is to make the spheres. As I mentioned in a previous video, I use music wire or radio control wire, as you see here, for spheres. I have 3 different sizes that I keep in stock. I keep a .037, that's generally for 15mm spheres and lances and things. Then for 25s and 28s, I keep .047 and .055. The .047 would be for like cavalry lances and javelins and things. And the .055, which I'm using here, is for the thicker pikes and spears. The wire comes coated with a type of creosote, kind of oily preservative on it, so I use Goo Gone and a paper towel and just run it up and down the wire to clean it off good. Then I just measured the length of the spears that came with the guys, and they were right at about an average of 50mm, so I just cut the wires at 50mm. Now don't try to use your nice hobby clippers that you use to clip your figures off the sprues or to trim things with. This wire is made of steel, and you're going to notch and ruin your blades if you try to do that. You got to get these more heavy-duty steel wire cutters here. I got these at the local home improvement store for about $13. Okay, here's a bunch of wires cut to 50mm, ready for the next step. Just use a Dremel tool and drill out the hands. Most of these hands on these figures are nice and open and pretty good shape, but just to smooth out the hands, get a nice clean surface to put the spear on, nice straight, easy, even surface. Just get the Dremel tool and run the drill bit in and out through the hand there a couple times. Well, this one here I actually have to drill down through solid, but many figures that hold weapons aren't like that. You do have to drill the hands out. Now I drill at about 4,000 RPM, which is plenty. It's not going to run away on you at that speed. It's pretty safe speed to work with. It's not a lot of vibration at that speed either. Now you can use, as you see here, you can use a pin vise for more delicate work. Now you'll see I'm putting the cutting wheel on. This is to sharpen from the business end and to round the butt end of the spears. Just hold it at a relatively shallow angle. Again, the Dremel is set to about 4,000 RPM. You notice I put a little porcelain dish underneath there. Just bought that at the thrift store for $1.49. Bought 2 of them. It's real good for catching bits and things. You see it catches a lot of the little metal flakes and just the dust off the wheel there. It lets it clean up a little bit. So just hold a real shallow angle, spin it your fingers, and sharpen to taste. Now you just spin it around on the butt end. You hold it more perpendicular. You just want to round off that end. Again, just hold it and spin it in the fingers, and it doesn't take too long. You might not want to sharpen these spears too much, depending on who's going to be playing with them. But I sharpen mine. I get mine pretty sharp. kind of teach your opponent not to be grabbing your figures, you know. So now they're ready for assembly. Now, when you want to use a pair of pliers to, because in some cases you're going to have to, once you put the wire into the hand, you can use the pliers to pinch the hand together to hold the wire tighter. You can see, well, I don't know if you can see or not, but these pliers are smooth, have smooth grips. But you definitely don't want to use the pliers that have the teeth on them, because you're going to mess up your figure pretty good if you do that. So you'll see here I'm just going through and putting a couple spears on the figures. Turn your lights down low and pull your window curtains. Let your moon come shining in into our lives again. And what I do after I get the spear in place, I just put a dab of super glue at the joint, and then I just use a paper towel to siphon off the excess super glue. Here you can see them stored in the cake pan, and you can see the Tamiya white putty I used on the bases. Here they are with the lid on, and that's how I store them. I just stack the cake pans to store the figures that way. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. I guess that'll do it for now. So keep painting, keep your positive attitudes, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.